Today I am going to discuss a very important technique using nakshatras, how you can determine the quality of relationship with other people in your workplace, in your family, in your friends, and what kind of mutual relationship you guys enjoy. Now, before we delve into the exact technique, let me tell you how you have to analyze yourself first of all. Before we get into the technique, just think of yourself as a witness. Do not think emotionally. See, astrology is a subject of sannyasis, it is the subject of yogis. So, just for the family members and the materialistic people, this could be very devastating because you may come to know some secret, some inner feeling of other people that will just destroy your relationship. So before that, just put your hand on your heart and just for the time being think of yourself as a third person. Just like you are analyzing the relationship between two X and Y people, just think of yourself in that person. Analyze it from the third person perspective as if you are in the third dimension and you are analyzing it just as a witness. Okay, then you can see, you can just work on this technique to find out how your relationship is dynamically happening with your family members, with your friends and with your colleagues. Okay, this is a beautiful technique and there is no exception to it. It works, it always works. And one more pledge that you must take before that: once you have analyzed your situation, once you have analyzed the dynamics of your relationship, then you will not let it supersede your emotions, because man is the emotional animal. Okay, so that emotion, let it remain, but you just understand the dynamics. And once you approach this subject as a third person, you will come to know the reality of it. You will come to know the reality of each and every relationship that you are having right now. For example, if you realize that your brother or your wife is very exploitative and you are like very caring to her, you are very caring to your mother or your wife or your brother, but you realize that they are not so from their side. So if you come up with that kind of dynamics from this technique, then as a third person you will appreciate it. As a third person you will really understand, yes, this is happening, but just because you are an emotional person, just because of your mind has been hijacked, you will not be able to supersede that emotion. Okay, and let it not supersede your emotions. Okay, let it be like that. But just work out this dynamic. Just work out how this technique is beautifully working in your chart. Okay, so here is the whole secret. The entire zodiac consists of 27 nakshatras. Nakshatras exist from Ashwini to Revati. Total there are 27 nakshatras. Okay, and each nakshatra has been given a lordship of a planet. Okay, there are 9 planets including Rahu and Ketu, and that way each planet receives the lordship of three nakshatras in the zodiac. Okay, and these planets, they lord over nakshatras in this order, like from Ketu, Venus, Sun, Moon, Mars, Rahu, Jupiter, Saturn, Mercury, and this order continues till 27 nakshatras. So first 1 to 9 nakshatra, that is Ashwini to Aslesha, is ruled by Ketu to Mercury in this order, just now I mentioned. Then from Magha to Jyeshtha, again this order continues. Then from Mula to Revati, again this order continues. Okay, and that way each and the nakshatras like Ashwini, Magha and Mula, all 3 nakshatras are lorded by Ketu. And then the next nakshatra is lorded by Venus, then Sun, then Moon, then Mars, then Rahu, then Jupiter, Saturn, and finally Mercury. Okay, so this way you can divide the whole nakshatras into 3 groups. Okay. Now suppose you are born in Ashwini nakshatra, then the first 1 to 9 nakshatras, they are the first cycle. Then the next 9 nakshatras, they are the second cycle, and the last cycle is the third group. Okay. They have typical names, Janma, Anujanma, Trijanma, but those technicality does not matter. It just matters that that I'll take up in the end. But first of all, let's say you are born in the Ashwini nakshatra. So Ashwini is the first nakshatra. Okay. Now consider you want to analyze some person who is born in the nakshatra which is just next to you. That is next to Ashwini comes Bharani. That is second nakshatra. Okay. Now second nakshatra from your Janma nakshatra is called Sampat nakshatra. Now what is Sampat nakshatra? Sampat, you can think of Sampat as a Sampada, as a wealth, as a resource. So anybody who is born in the second nakshatra from yourself, you will consider him to be a useful resource, a wealth for yourself. Okay, that wealth may not be exactly the money, but just that in your mind you will be thinking that this person is a useful resource to me. Okay, and that way it brings in very good kind of bonding between the Sampat and the Jan nakshatra. Okay, so Ashwini, Bharani, they are very good relationship. Okay, now the second nakshatra. Okay, the second nakshatra is called the Vipat nakshatra. So anybody who is born in the third nakshatra from Janma nakshatra is called Vipat nakshatra. Okay, so anybody who is born in Vipat nakshatra will be considered by you as a danger. Okay, you will think of him as a very danger or very troublesome kind of thing. Okay, very struggling kind of thing will happen from him. So whenever you encounter such person, you will find very struggling to basically deal with them. Okay, so that's a Vipat nakshatra. So Vipat is a Sanskrit word. It means some kind of danger, some kind of trouble to yourself. So obviously that is not very good kind of relationship. Then the fourth nakshatra is called the Chhem nakshatra. Okay, that is fourth from the Navtara. Okay, nakshatra is also called Tara. So the fourth nakshatra is the Chhem nakshatra. Chhem means comfort. Okay, some kind of suraksha. Okay, caring, very caring and very loving kind of person. So what you perceive of that person is you always tend to care for him. You always tend to give extra love to him, give extra comfort to him. Okay, so that is the fourth nakshatra. So suppose you are born in the Ashwini nakshatra, then the fourth nakshatra will be sun, then moon. Okay, then fourth nakshatra will be moon. Okay, then comes the fifth nakshatra. Okay, the fifth nakshatra is called the Pratyari nakshatra. Pratyari means enemy. Okay, obstacles. Somebody who always creates obstacle for you. Somebody who is inimical to you. So anybody who is born in that nakshatra, you will always see him as your enemy. Okay, you will always see him as somebody who is always creating obstacle for you. Okay. Then the sixth nakshatra. Sixth nakshatra is called Sadhak nakshatra. Now Sadhak means some kind of achievement, some kind of skill. So anybody who is born in the sixth nakshatra from yourself, you will see him as a person who is a great achiever for you, or some kind of you will tend to see him as somebody who is very successful in your eyes. Okay. Then the seventh nakshatra is called the Vadh nakshatra or Naidhan nakshatra. That is the death. Okay, what it means is death. So that nakshatra will bring death to you, death like pain to you. Okay, you will try to exploit him till death. So that is the meaning of that nakshatra. So if anybody is born over there, you will tend to exploit him. You will tend to finish him for your own benefit. Okay. Then the eighth nakshatra is called Mitra nakshatra. Mitra is friend. Okay. So friend is obviously very good. Then the ninth nakshatra is called the Adhimitra. So it is very good friend. So if Mitra is the cake, then the Adhimitra is the icing on the cake. Okay. So that is just one side of relationship. From yourself, if you see somebody who is born in the first, second, third, fourth, seventh, eighth, ninth nakshatra, from yourself, then how is the relationship going to happen? Okay. Now let me tell you the whole Navtara chakra. Just now I told there are 27 nakshatras, and these 9 nakshatras, they are in the form of cycle. So 1st to 9th, then 10th to 18th, then 19th to 27. So that is the 3 group that is formed. Okay. So when I say the first nakshatra, that is the Janma nakshatra, then what I mean is the first nakshatra as well as the 10th nakshatra as well as the 19th nakshatra. Okay. So if somebody is born in Ashwini nakshatra, then the Jan nakshatra of him becomes the Magha also as well as the Mula also. Okay. That is the 18th and the that is the 10th and the 19th nakshatra. Okay. And likewise the Sampat nakshatra is not only the second nakshatra but also the 11th nakshatra as well as the 20th nakshatra. Okay. So somebody who is born in Bharani nakshatra will be second to him. Then somebody born in Purva Falguni is also Sampat to him. Then somebody born in the Purvashad is also Sampat to him. So all 3 nakshatras, they since it is in the form of cycle, so all 3 nakshatras will come into play. So automatically you are covering all the 3 cycles. Okay. Now it is the relationship just from the one side, how you are treating the other person. Now it is very important to know how others are treating you. Okay. So suppose this dynamics of this cycle is like this, that if the second person is born, okay, if the other person you are analyzing is born in the Sampat nakshatra, then from his perspective you are the 9th nakshatra. Okay. So if he is Sampat to you, then you are Adhimitra to him. Okay. Now Adhimitra is also very good, Sampat is also very good, so it is very mutually beneficial kind of relationship. Okay. You are thinking of his as your wealth, and he is thinking of you as a very good, very great friend. Okay. So that is very good relationship. So likewise also you will see that if your son or daughter is born in that nakshatra, in the Sampat nakshatra, then you will gain lot of wealth after that boy, after that progeny is born. Okay. Then let us analyze the 3rd nakshatra, that is Vipat nakshatra. Okay. So Vipat nakshatra is the 3rd nakshatra from yourself, and from the Vipat nakshatra person you are the Mitra nakshatra. Okay. So what kind of relationship it is? You are thinking of that person as a dangerous person, as a danger to you, and what that other person is thinking, you are a friend. So he could be doing good to you, but you have constant thing in your mind that he might be doing something bad for me, or you'll always see some aspect of him as a danger to yourself. Okay. So that kind of relationship is over there. Then the Chema nakshatra. So if the other person is in the 4th nakshatra from your Jan nakshatra, then from his perspective you are the Vadha nakshatra, Naidhan. So what is happening? You are thinking of the other person as a very loving, very caring person. You are doing everything for him, and that other person is trying to exploit you. So that kind of relationship is there. That kind of dynamics is happening. Okay. Like if suppose your brother is born in that nakshatra, then what you are thinking, you are from your emotions, you are just being a very caring, very loving brother, doing everything for him. But from his perspective, he is just exploiting. Now it may not be very intentional kind of exploitation, but just that his expectation will be such that since he is my brother, or he is my wife, or he is my this and that, I should get this thing. So that kind of thing will be there. It may not be very intentional from him, but if you see from the third perspective, see, that's why I told, before we delve into this kind of analysis, we have to see the situation as a third person. We do not have to see this as very from your emotional point of view, otherwise this whole thing will fail. Just see it from the perspective that two people, what is the dynamics that is happening. Then you will realize that the relationship between the 4th and the 7th, like Chem and Nidhan relationship happens when you are very caring and loving, but that other person is very exploitative. Okay, like it may happen with your son or daughter also. You will be very loving to your son, but your son will keep on exploiting your wealth, keep on exploiting you on account of your love and care. Then the next nakshatra is the Pratyak nakshatra. Okay, so if the other person is in the Pratyak nakshatra or Pratyari nakshatra, then he'll be obstacle to you, and he'll be like enemy to you. Okay, he'll always create obstacles for you. From your perspective, you are thinking that he is creating very lot of obstacles to you, but from his perspective, you are the Sadhak nakshatra. So from his perspective, you will be a great achiever. He'll appreciate you a lot, but from your perspective, you are creating. Now, this kind of relationship is like he is pratyak to you, he is pratyari to you, he is enemy to you. So being enemy, you'll just keep punishing him. Okay, you'll keep inflicting pain to him. But what he's thinking, you are a great achiever, you are a sadhak, you are somebody very great in his eyes. So he'll just keep serving you. Okay, so imagine this relationship like your servant who just cannot go away, like your bonded labor. So you just keep punishing him, do this, do that. But what he's doing, he's just serving you always with his heart. Imagine what happens if this kind of relationship happen with your spouse or with your son. Okay, your son will think that you are his enemy, and you'll just keep serving. Now the whole cycle again continues. Like if you see somebody as the Nidhan nakshatra or the Vada nakshatra, then you'll be very exploitative towards that relationship. But from his perspective, you are caring. So he'll be caring you, but you will be exploiting. Okay, so that is the exploitative and loving relationship. Then the 8th nakshatra is the Mitra nakshatra. You will consider him to be a friend, but from his perspective, you will be you are the cause of his struggle. Okay, so that kind of relationship will happen. And in the 9th nakshatra, obviously that is very best kind of nakshatra, that is very best kind of relationship, because you are considering him as a adhimitra, as a very fast friend, and from his perspective, you are in the Sampattara, that is a very wealthy, a lot of resourceful friendship, lot of resourceful relationship between you and him. Now the thing is, now in the beginning of video I talked about 3 cycles. Okay, so the first cycle, that is the first 9 nakshatras from your Janma nakshatra, is the first cycle. Okay, so and then the second cycle is from the 10th to the 19th nakshatra. So if you find this bad relationship happening in the second cycle, okay, that is the Anujanma, in the second cycle, that is 10th to 19th nakshatra, then it is very bad. It is having the highest gravity. And if it is happening in the first cycle, then it has the second best, the second in the gravity. Then in the last part, it is the least, it is having least bad effects. Okay, so that way basically you can judge if this kind of relationship is occurring in your family or in your circle, then what is the gravity of that relationship. Okay, also this technique can be combined with other techniques also, like Badhaka or 6th Lord or 8th Lord together, to find out what is the gravity of this. Okay, like if it is just the Navtara, if it is just the exploitative relationship of Nidhantara, then it is just okay, it may be considered okay. Like you may have exploitative spouse or exploitative brother or mother, but if there is a Badhaka involved, if there is the 8th Lord involved, if there is 6th Lord involved, then this kind of trouble can get way beyond your imagination. Like it may cause murder, it may cause the other kind of things that you'll see in the newspapers. Okay, that's the thing. Now one relationship that I didn't talk about till now, that is, what if the other person is born in the same nakshatra as your Janma nakshatra? Okay, what will happen? Now, if you are born in the same nakshatra, then what it means, it is a two-folded thing. It may happen that the person is highly supportive of you and you are also very supportive of him. There will be very strong relationship between you guys. The other aspect of it is, it may so happen that you will completely destroy each other. Okay, so that totally depends on other astrological conditions, but generally this kind of thing has been observed, that such people tend to completely replace each other because they are just the next alternative to it. Okay, so they just tend to replace it, or they tend to be very supportive and very understanding to each other. So that is, it can be both ways. Okay, now not only for understanding the relationships, this Navtara chakra can be used to analyze the dasha and gochar also. So if there are planets transiting the Vipat, Pratyari or Nidhantara, then it results in a very troublesome time for you. In Vipat Tara, you will see a lot of struggle for yourself. In the Pratyari Tara, you will see a lot of animosity getting created. And in the 7th Tara, in the Nidhan Tara, it may so happen that almost death inflicting pain could occur. Okay, so that kind of results could be drawn from the transit as well as in the dasha also. Okay, that's all about it. Try to figure out the relationship dynamics that is happening in your life or in your professional life, in your friend circle, and try to analyze everything from the third person perspective. And once you have analyzed it, then please do not take it to do not make any judgments out of it. Okay, because it may so happen that the other person may not be doing it consciously. Okay, it just from the third person perspective you will come to know this, but just let your emotions be like it is right now. Okay, thank you.